Hello everyone, I'm Lizzie Jones and I'll be your host for this week's Paper Tray Ink Make It Monday. This week I'm going to share my secret weapon for effortlessly adding sparkly, glittering mats to your projects. I did a few projects during this most recent countdown and I received several questions about them, so I thought this might be the perfect opportunity for a tutorial. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to start with the white adhesive sheets that Paper Tray sells. These are the secret weapon. I just die cut this with whatever shape it is that I want to be glittered, and I die cut it with the adhesive backing still on it, but the sticky side, or what would be the sticky side, face up. That way you're getting that nice die cut edge when you cut. So next I'm going to stamp the images on my focal panel. This is a piece of white cardstock that I cut with one of the stitched rectangle dies from the noted scalloped A2 die collection. And here I'm adding the pine boughs from Bells and Boughs in ripe avocado, and I'll be using the other bough here in a second in Simply Chartreuse ink. I'm just building a little bit of a background for my focal image, which will be the bells from the Bells and Boughs set. So just trying to give them a little bit of atmosphere here on the focal panel. So I've got one of the boughs stamped in the Simply Chartreuse. I'm going to add a couple more, one on either side, just to sort of break up the color a little bit. So once the bells are in place, you see little peaks of both colors throughout. So once I've got those stamped, I'm going to add this sentiment. This is also from Bells and Boughs, and I'm adding this in Pure Poppy. So get it all nice and inked up there so it's nice and crisp, and go ahead and stamp that in the lower right hand corner. And there we go. Okay, once that's all stamped, it's time to apply the focal panel to the white adhesive sheet. So you just peel off the backing and place your focal panel wherever it is you want it to be on the mat. So on some of the samples from this past countdown, I just had one edge showing. On others, I had a whole border happening. You can do whatever works best with your card design, or whatever you like the best. It's really an open-ended thing. You can do whatever you want, really. So once that panel is in place, you simply apply the glitter. This is Aquamarine Crystal from Martha Stewart Crafts. And you just tap it all around the edge. I like doing this on a scrap of copy paper, or a spare sheet of copy paper, because I can, here you can see, I can sort of fold the copy paper over and use it to burnish the glitter into the adhesive so my hands don't get nearly as messy. And you just rub until you get a nice secure hold on that glitter. Now when it comes to tapping off the glitter, I'm afraid there's no easy answer for staying clean. There's going to be some residue, but it's all just part of using loose glitter, but I love it. I think it's beautiful and sparkly. I use an inexpensive paintbrush to remove any excess, and don't forget the back. There's always glitter lurking on the back. But I don't use anything fancy, just a cheapo brush I got in a package of assorted brushes. It usually does the trick. So now it's time to assemble my card. Here I have a piece of Bitty Big Pure Poppy paper. I've got that cut to 5 1/4 by 4, and this is an A2 card base, pre-cut and scored on white cardstock. I'm going to just adhere the patterned paper directly to the card base, and it's going to leave about an 1/8 inch border around the outside edge. There we go. There we go. And I'm going to use foam tape on my focal panel to pop it up and give a little bit of dimension. So I just use wide tape that I cut into strips, and I sort of do a crisscross pattern on the back to make sure everything's nice and supported. So here we go. Next, I'm going to adhere the bells. The bells are done in Harvest Gold and Honey Nut inks, and I'm doing these with both flat and foam adhesives to add a bit of dimension. I've got flat adhesive at the top and foam at the bottom, and it's going to sort of make it look like it flares out just a little bit. So I'm going to sort of place the bells on the card without pressing them down, just to make sure that I'm happy with my placement. And that's going to take a couple of tries just because I wanted to make sure that I was really happy. There we go. I think that's probably good. So I've got the big bell all pressed down there, and I'm going to do the same with the small bell. I'm going to use flat adhesive towards the top and a little bit of foam there towards the bottom to give it that bell flare. So it's got kind of a realistic dimension to it. There we go. There we go. That's better. And I'm going to add the bow with some foam tape too. Mostly there towards the knot of the bow. There we go. And now it needs a little bit more, so I'm going to add just a little bit of foam adhesive there on the one edge to make sure it really feels nice and supported, to make sure the bow's nice and secure. And there we go. All done. So there you have it. Didn't I tell you it was effortless? I hope you'll choose to take up this week's challenge and link your card on Nicole's blog for your chance to win a gift certificate to the Paper Tray Ink store. This has been Lizzie Jones with this week's Make It Monday. Thanks for joining me, and have a great week, everybody.